So we are back, the Dan and Ninko Show for 18?
Yeah, I think
Is
it's
this
18.
episode 18?
I think it is.
Are you kidding me? Well, guess what?
You're about to say it, and I'm like, what is it?
It's 18.
It's 18.
It is 18,
Yeah.
which is, it's just time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what? No 40s this week.
No, you got 40s here. We're not.
Their
gonna drink
40s are
those.
here. We
Yeah.
can still drink them if you want. They're probably
We opened those last week.
like
They're probably real
a
good.
little warm, urine warm.
Yeah.
Well, not as warm as urine would be. That would be 98.6. But anyway, let's you see the hat on my head today? You see it? I woke up and I thought to myself, we're going to make a new Dan and Ninko number 18. You throw on my TB12 hat, the stocking cap with the little dangly ball on it, to where you question, is that cool? But it's cool.
Do you buy those?
No, they sent them to me. Come on.
You sure?
They sent them to me. Where do you buy them? You got to go to the TB12 to buy them, or
you
online?
Go to TB12, don't you?
I haven't been in a long time. I'm retired now. I just I consume beer. I don't have to have the painful massages like TB12. I don't know if you've been to TB12. It's a little painful, but
It looks it.
it's a little bit,
You see like the videos that he puts out?
massaging. Yes.
Like
Like
Alex
the Rocky-
Guerrero's going nuts on him.
Yeah, but that's nothing. That's just pads. But anyway, how about this? The guy, the GOAT, Tom Brady, is playing in another, not AFC championship. He
NFC,
flipped
yeah.
it, and he's going to the NFC championship. And, I mean, come on. Like, if you see that at 43, you have to tip your hat to him, say, wow, okay, he just took a franchise that hasn't been to a NFC championship since when? 90, I don't know, when they win the Super Bowl. When was the last time with Gruden? That was 96?
No, it was in the 2000s.
Was it?
Yeah.
2000s? No, not
I think it was
2006.
2000.
That's a long time ago.
When was it? It definitely was in the 2000s.
Well, you got that monster tablet.
I know, but I got something up that I don't want to take off.
Get that
right
thing.
now.
All right. Oh, you have stats. Is that what you have?
Oh
up?
yeah,
You
yeah,
have
I got
stats.
I got
Well,
my
because
way
if he
to
threw,
refute
he threw
it.
for like.
I have to refute it.
Okay. All right.
But I'm interested to see the Tampa Super Bowl.
Tampa, back when they had Allstott. Was Allstott playing back then?
Yeah,
That guy was a tank.
yeah, and like the quarterback was Brad Johnson.
Johnson. Yep. Big dude. He had
2003.
he wore that mask that was like just like huge face mask.
2003.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, that was like Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
I think Warwick Dunn was on that team.
Yep.
They're a good team. I mean, the
Very good
quarterback
team.
was terrible, but the team was
He was a
good.
manager. He was a manager. He was a game manager.
Yeah, that's
But
what he was.
so you look at that matchup, the Saints versus Tampa. I personally took Tampa because I understand how hard it is to beat a team
Yeah,
twice, let alone 3 times in the same season. So they go in. They pretty much, I mean, you put the ball in Drew Brees' hand. It was pretty sad, Drew walking
It
off.
was
He gave
really
the
sad.
look back of the Superdome. It was probably his last time
it was
playing.
his worst game he ever played.
Oh, is that bad?
It was bad. Like,
I mean,
did
like-
you expect Breeze to look that bad?
Kind of. I mean, that's why I took
No,
Tampa.
He was okay. No, you didn't. You took him just because you didn't think they could beat him the third time.
No, I didn't think they could beat him the third time, but anytime that you have to put in another guy to throw the ball 50 yards or 40 yards downfield, I mean,
But he
it's
couldn't make a
glaringly
short
obvious.
pass, though.
But he can make the short passes off of anticipation because he still understands the game and he understands where to go with the football, but he can't throw the ball with any velocity, and you just can see that because he's not a big guy. So you have to understand, just like a baseball pitcher, if you're 5'10", 190 pounds, you literally have to like put every ounce of everything you got to throw the ball 90 miles an hour or 100, whatever they throw. Yeah. The guy's 6'5", Randy Johnson out there, he's just whipping his arm and just whipping that thing 100 miles an hour. So, you think about Tom, he's 43, he's a year or 18 months older than Drew Brees. But, people forget that in 2006, when I was drafted to the Saints, Drew Brees had a 360-degree tear of his rotator cuff all the way around his rotator cuff. So it wasn't just like a frontal tear or a tear in the back. Like, he tore the whole cuff, which I think at the time it was the most significant tear ever that had to be repaired.
Like recorded.
That for an athlete, to come back in a throwing shoulder. It wasn't his, left arm. It was his right arm.
That was like right when he went to New Orleans, right?
Yeah, so it was the season before his free agency.
Yeah.
He was going for a fumble, and like his arm was up, and I think it was on somebody, and someone jumped on his back, and it like took the whole thing out and tore his rotator. So when I was drafted to the Saints, everybody's like, "What the heck, Drew Brees?" I mean, they gave him a big contract for having that injury. And he hadn't thrown the ball. He wouldn't throw the ball in OTAs, didn't throw the ball in mini camps, didn't throw the ball in training camp, didn't literally throw a football pass until the first week of the season. He would just take a step back and point where he was going to go. That was it, and point. And everyone's like, oh, boy, this is going to be really tough.
What did you think?
I was like, oh, man, we can't throw the ball. We're done.
Who was the backup?
Who was the backup that year?
Brunell?
Yeah, I think it was Brunell. Old lefty.
Yeah.
I think it was Brunell, 2006. But he came back, and he had a great year. That year they actually went to the playoffs. I think they went to the NFC championship, and they got beat by the Eagles. Oh, no. Yeah, the Eagles beat them. So he's had a great career. I mean, you can't feel. I don't feel too bad for the guy because he probably made like $250 million plus. I don't know. So he's made a shit ton of money. He's won one Super Bowl. I'm sure he'd like to have got to another one. You remember the past 4 playoffs. The Saints have had an unbelievable record in the regular season, but they lose in these weird ways. The Minnesota Miracle with the Hail Mary throw up, and the guy just caught it and scores a touchdown. Then the game. Should have been Patriots, Saints in the Super Bowl. That's what it should have been if the refs, got their heads out of their rear ends and actually threw the flag, because that was PI, and they would have scored. So, I mean, whatever. And I think that game would have been a better game. The defense wouldn't have been able to fool Drew Brees like they did Jared Goff. So that would have been actually better Super Bowl.
They destroyed Goff.
Yeah, he was terrible. I mean, he's not a great quarterback. I think everyone can see that.
So Drew Brees' career earning $270 million.
Ooh, buddy! Did you see the Powerball today?
Yeah, it's like
700 and something.
Yeah, you gonna go buy your tickets?
I'm gonna go get them. Yeah, you got to go to 3 different places. You go to 3 different gas stations, drop a 20. Because I think I read that if you spend 1,000 or 2,000 on tickets or 20, it's the same chance. You have like the same chance of winning.
It's just too many people.
It's just too many people. So I'm going to bounce around. I'm going to drop $60. I'm going to go to 3 different gas stations. I might go a little bit odd, somewhere I've never been, just to try it out. And if something happens and Ninko's the sole winner,
most people won't hear from me again.
This is going to be Rob Ninkovich Kia. It's going to be the Rob Ninkovich Auto Group. I'll buy you out. You can be my partner. We'll have fun, and we'll just drive cool cars.
Yeah.
And that'll just be like kind of like a side deal. And then I'll have a garage full of like crazy cool cars.
You'll beat out like Jay Leno's collection of cars.
Oh, with that much money, I mean, you could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want.
I mean, you could take like a third of it, throw it in the bank, just a regular interest-bearing account.
Just put $100 million on it. Okay, I can't spend that.
It's a new car every month.
Yeah,
it's basically what it is.
That would be a lovely, lovely thing. Won't happen. So my dad actually won the Little Lotto when I was a kid, and he used to play the Little Lotto, and I would say, Dad, you're never gonna win. You're never gonna win. Stop playing. And one day he was just screaming, and I'm like, what? He's like, I think he won like $175,000. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Just like looked up and.
I don't know. He's going to watch this. Maybe it was 130. I don't know. But then you got to pay tax on it. So, but still a lot of money, for an iron worker. Yeah. You bought a brand new truck.
Just buying like 50-cent tickets or $1 ticket or something.
I think it was his own picks too, which is impressive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Play the same pick like every single day?
I think.
Or every
single
week for $1?
His numbers.
Yeah.
His lucky numbers.
There's people that have won the lottery multiple times.
Yeah, that's
like in the same year.
I don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah.
It's like a rigged thing.
See that it's something like 50 or 60% of people that win the lottery go bankrupt.
Well, I might if I won the lottery. I might. Dude, I am tired right now. My son, I don't know why. So with Brody, when we got Brody's over. He's doing good. We got him a Kong. Shout out to Kong. Good job. He's busy. But I've been sleeping with my son because I take the dog out late. So last night I was like, I'm sleeping in my own bed. sleeping in my own bed. And at like 3, my son came in the room. I'm literally sleeping on a sliver of the bed. I got no blankets, no covers. He left the bathroom light on, so the light's just like this light, just bright in my eyes. And I said, "Can you turn the light off?" Nah, he's not moving. So I had to get up, turn the lights off. Didn't go back to sleep. So I've only got a few hours of sleep right now. So I blame it on my son.
That's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Because how old is he now?
He's 4. It's pretty old.
Yeah. Get like a couple more years of that.
Couple more years. I don't mind it because one day he's going to tell me, "Dad, get out of my room." So
yeah,
I don't
leave
mind
me
it.
alone.
I don't mind that.
You're not cool anymore.
Yeah, you're not cool.
Yeah.
He already calls me Farts. I'm like, why is my name Farts? He's like, "Because you fart." I'm like, I mean, everyone farts. Maybe I need to work on that so you don't see me as Mr. Fart Man.
And then you think it's cute now, and then when he's like 17 and you go out of town for a day and you come back and your new car has a big scratch on it because he took it out driving.
That's
like
that. One of the
is
things.
that like one of your biggest fears?
I think about when I'm older. Like, I'm gonna have to get rid of some stuff. Like when I'm older, when my kids are driving, because you can't have like a 16-year-old like take out a Hellcat wide body.
Yeah,
it's like has bad news written all over it.
It's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes. Yes.
Would you freak out though?
Yeah, there'd probably be some beatings.
Like you'd black out, right?
Here's the thing. Like the one thing that I have been better at as I've been old. When I was younger, I'll tell you a funny story. My first car, or not my first car, like the second car that I got, my dad promised me, if you got a scholarship, I'll buy you a car to go to school. So I got the scholarship to go to Purdue. First thing I did, "Yo, Pop, I got this 225,000-mile Chevy S10 with 4 cylinders that's about to explode. Can we go get something?" And he was like, "Yeah, we'll go look for something." So we found a 02 blue Monte Carlo SS with 32,000 miles. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So he bought it for me. I'm driving it to school. Everything's great. But I was so crazy about it, I used to put like newspaper down in the back if people were going to get in. You got to put your feet on the paper. You got to hit the mats.
Take your shoes off.
You got to hit the mats. I would try to park it away from everybody because college kids are, you know what they are. They're asses. So they're looking to do something to someone's car. So I would always like put it in the spots to keep it safe. Well, at Purdue, they had this massive gate. It was like huge. So I don't know if you've ever been past, like maybe even by the Patriots, they have the big fence, but they put these tarps on the fence to where you can't see through and nobody can like watch practice. Because when you go through these gates to the parking lot, your practice field was inside of there and they wouldn't want everyone to watch. So it was a crazy windy day in the Midwest of Indiana. So I'm coming through this, like right when I'm coming through the gate, like a gust of wind blows the gate shut. Like as hard as you could possibly imagine. Wham, hits my car as I'm driving. And I'm just like, oh no, I don't want to look. It hit the mirror, busted the mirror, then like slid down the whole car. So it was just the whole side of the car was like sideswiped. So I'm really angry, say a few words, get out, slam the door. I don't have money. Like I'm a college kid. I don't have money to fix it. So I had to drive it like that for a while, which is torture. So I get it fixed, get it back home. I get it fixed. I'm in the parking lot. I get in the car, start the car, put it in reverse. I hit like a 3-foot rock at the corner, like at the corner of a driveway or the corner. They put a big rock. Yeah. I literally am in the body shop. I put it in reverse. I hit the rock. I destroy the corner because the corner on those Monte Carlos had like a little weird tip to it. Yeah. It was like kind of like sharp. Destroyed the corner. Put it in drive, go forward, back in my parking spot, put it in park, walk back in there, throw in my keys, and I said, "You got to do the back bumper too. I'll be back in a couple weeks." It was not good.
That was like when you called me when you got your Hellcat like expelled or whatever.
Yeah, and they screwed it up.
Dents on it.
Yeah.
You literally called me. You're like, I need to sell it. I need to sell it.
I was going to sell it. So I got you've seen the Hellcat. It's really cool. I got the hood expelled, and whoever was doing the expel put their elbows or something on the car. So it had like about 13 dents in the top of it. So that wasn't fun. They got it out. Paintless dent. Paintless dent. If you're a young kid looking for like something to learn, a skill, it's about $100 a dent. So you do the math. You can make a buku amount of money.
Yeah, if you get if you
you're
actually have it.
if you're good and you have the certifications.
Yeah.
But you can make a lot of money.
So you excited
paintless
for the
dent
new car
repair.
we have coming in?
The 4 GT?
Yeah.
I wonder if I'd fit in that.
It's pretty big.
Is it pretty big?
Yeah. I've sat in one before.
So what happened with that? Somebody bought it and then fell through?
Well, what ended up happening was
Couldn't
going
get
through
financing or something?
No, it was going through an auction, and they sold it, but the guy had a reserve on it, and the number was less than the reserve. So
he let it go.
No, they flaked the deal.
Oh,
The
because
guy's like, I'm not selling it at that. And
yeah.
Then I saw it back up, so I called and we started negotiating on it, and I put the deal together. So
That's a
I got
cool
a
car.
2018
2018 Ford GT.
silver with painted blue stripes.
Talk about expel. That thing needs to be expelled.
Yeah, I think it is already though.
Is it? They put the paint
Yeah.
protection on there?
You don't buy that car. I mean, they bring like double or even triple what the MSRP.
Can you
was.
still get those? Can you get a 2021
Yeah.
Ford GT?
Yeah,
They still make them?
Order them, yeah. But I mean,
But you
the
just
waiting
can't
list
get
is so
'em?
long. You got to sign a contract with Ford that you can't sell the car for a certain period of time. all
Really?
that. You don't see the John Cena thing? Ford sued John Cena.
Oh, because he bought it and sold it?
He bought one because he bought it for like MSRP, which is like $500,000, and he sold it for $1.2 million like 2 weeks later.
Jeez.
But he had signed a contract with them that he wouldn't sell it. So they sued him, and I think he had to buy the car back at the money from the guy he sold to, and I think he had to give the car back to Ford. I think was the
No
settlement.
way.
I'm almost positive that was the settlement
Wow.
because they didn't want it. The problem is,
I wonder what the time frame is, like once you buy it.
it's either 2 or 3 years.
Because this is a 2018. How many miles are on it? It's like nothing.
1,600.
That's like nothing.
Yeah. The thing with them is that they don't want it going to the market. So like you take.
But if you flood the market, it brings the value down.
But it's
too,
also
right?
the car ends. They end up in different countries, and they don't want that. They want them in like certain areas. So basically, like if you go get when they redesigned the G63 AMG, the G wagon,
Yep.
it only came to the U.S. market. So people overseas were paying double MSRP because I'd go buy one at the dealer, and then I would just take it and sell it to a guy in like Abu Dhabi for $100,000 more than I paid for it.
Yeah.
So then the car was only built and designed to go into the U.S. market, and then it's now ended up all over the world. So when they do those type of rare production cars, they want it to stay. Like if you want to, who is it? It's McLaren on the Senna.
Yeah.
The Senna, I think, did it, but I'm almost positive Senna did it, but I know the P1 did it. So if you wanted to get a McLaren P1 when they came out in 2014, you had to produce a book of vehicles you've owned. So if McLaren would deem you worthy to buy the car,
Wow.
it didn't matter if you had money and all that. So
That's crazy.
there's
It's
a
like
picture-
Ferrari, right? I don't think I could walk into a Ferrari dealership.
no, you can buy a base Ferrari. You can't buy.
You can't buy like any of the
Yeah.
cool stuff.
So the pitcher C.J. Wilson was a big time pitcher in Major League Baseball. He made $90 million a year, $90 million or $100 million. He wanted a P1, and he had a big car collection. He had like Porsche GT2 RSs, he had GT3 RSs, he had McLarens, he had like this whole thing, and he sent his book in, and they said, no, you don't have enough.
It's
here.
crazy.
So what he did was he bought a McLaren dealership in Scottsdale, Arizona, so you get one.
So he bought a dealership. That
To get the car.
sounds like a good investment, right?
He still has the dealership though.
Well, that's good. That's good. Most athletes they don't keep the dealership very long.
Yeah.
The Mecum auction was up recently. I know we're off track here, but it's okay. It's
Yeah.
Dan O'Brien. We're talking cars here.
Yeah.
The Mecum auction was up, and I had a friend there that was going around. I think he bought like a Ford, a 1940s Ford, and he's like, look through the thing and see what you like. And, if you like anything, I'll bid on it. So they had a 70 Chevelle. I know you don't love Chevelles, but I love the Chevelle. It had a 502 like new crate motor. It was like all done up, restored. It was nice, but people forget. I think that they have the ladies out there serving drinks to everybody. So
I think the liquor's free.
yeah, of course it is because you're paying a 10% buyer and seller fee.
Yeah.
So Mecum is laughing all the way to the bank because if you sell a car for $100,000, you're getting 20 G's off of that one deal, 10% from each guy. I mean, the Chevelle went through. It was pretty. It was red with black stripes. I had one that was red with white stripes. It was an automatic, which sucked. The one that I had,
Yeah,
so I
this one was
just
manual,
didn't want an automatic, and this was a manual. So I had a number in my head, and once they get to it, it's sold for $3,000 over what I like the number in my head. But you just have to have that number, and like if it goes over it, you're just done. Like,
no, you're lucky you weren't there, because if you were there,
yeah,
you would have tore your rotator cuff keeping your hand up. You would have just been up the whole time.
I'll take it. I don't care.
That's what it is, though.
Sir, you're overpaying. It's okay.
Yeah. Like when we go to some auctions, and we're just buying like regular stuff for the stores, like just regular trucks and all that stuff. And you'll see some buyers for like CarMax and stuff like that. They have a clipboard, and on the back they have all their buyer tags that they're buying for different stores. And you'll just see these guys. They just stand there like this.
Like they never.
And the auction just keeps going. 22, 22, 22-1, 22-2, 22-3, and they just stand there like that the whole time.
But it doesn't matter if they overpay for a car. You would think, like, 'cause at the end of the day, like, you just don't want to overpay for the car because you can't get your money back. I think on
to
that
a degree.
On that, like a new car, especially like if a new Kia rolled past, if it was used and it's worth $25,000, you don't want to spend over $25,000 on it.
But the problem is with like big companies like CarMax and Carvana that only have used cars, they only have one way to get cars. We have multiple ways, right? Because we have trade-in.
Yeah.
We'll buy people's cars. We have a database of people, so we can call them and try to acquire their cars. We need used cars.
Yeah.
But like Carvana and CarMax, they don't have that ability, so they have to go buy cars. They also don't make a lot of profit on the cars because they just do this volume piece where they use technology and all that. They don't have a lot of employees. They don't service the cars that well. They don't have service centers, so
Yep.
they just basically have to buy the cars to get them. So when you go to a lane, sometimes it's crazy. Like when coronavirus kind of clamped in and all the factories shut down, there was a big
used
article
cars
came
are
out.
going
Yeah,
through
people
the roof.
thought used cars would dump in value. They thought like used cars would just plummet. And I know a couple dealers that were like, they just started selling their cars at auction and like just taking anything they could get for them, and they're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's bad.
So we just sat there and I'm like, it's going to come back. We're not going to have new cars, so used car values are going to skyrocket. And like probably 3 or 4 months into the once you hit like June or July, used car values just skyrocketed, just absolutely skyrocketed because you didn't have new cars, so new car dealers had to buy more used cars to basically be able to have cars to sell.
Yep.
And then obviously if that happens when the new car dealers now are competing with CarMax and Carvana, it's just raising the prices up because they just have to keep their hand up. So it's been crazy, and I thought it would have already went away, and it's still kind of there, especially on like the high end stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
there's
I know
not a lot
that
out there.
when you look at the Meekum stuff, I mean, there was like big, like some muscle cars, like muscle cars have gone down in the last few years, but I felt like when the muscle car stuff was high, and then even like the resto mods, which people that are listening, a resto mod is a restored old car into a modern engine, transmission, so it drives like kind of a newer car, but it's got an old shell. Those things are 200, 300,000. That's why my Buick Skylark, if I'm gonna put that thing up there, 100 G's.
So
I
you
don't
didn't
know.
believe me until you started looking. You're like, there's
No, I
no way.
know.
There's no way
There's
Resto
no
Mod
way.
bring that. I'm like, they.
Yeah, but because
some of them bring
the hard thing about a
crazy.
resto mod is it's someone else's custom idea of what they felt they wanted. So like my car in particular, if somebody was like a Buick, who the heck who wants a Buick Skylark? Some people just don't like those. That's why, a Chevelle, like you say, they're a dime a dozen. Yeah, there's a lot of Chevelles out there. You find a Chevelle at every car show. You're gonna find a 70 Chevelle.
Multiple Chevelles.
So you won't see a 69 Skylark, I guarantee you. You might see one, but it's got four doors.
That's where though they'll usually bring more money, especially if they're in a big auction like Meekum or Barrett Jackson, because you have so many bidders.
Yeah.
That you'll catch somebody's eye because they'll be like, I had a Skylark when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Or my dad had one, or I had one.
Yeah.
Well, I can get one now with a whole modern drivetrain, so I don't have to sit there and go outside and and clean the carburetors and stuff like that. I can just go outside, turn the key, and just go. And that's why those are bringing some crazy money now.
I think Brody's full of that Kong insert.
He's still gone.
No, I'm saying I think it's like all on his underside, stuck to him. I'm good. Yeah. Nothing like giving a golden retriever a bath. I felt like he was wet for 6 hours yesterday, and I blow dry him and everything. Like I'm like in a salon in my basement. I got hair, like his hair floating around my head, sticking my beard. It's like this right there on the side. You see it right there?
Bring him to get groomed to a place.
Is that? Yeah, that's stuff. I mean, because he's a puppy. I like to do it myself right now, so he gets used to it. And then the blow dryer, especially like some puppies, they go nuts. I was at getting the puppy shampoo down the street, and it sounded like there was I don't know, something going on back there. A dog was going nuts. I'm like, oh, it sounds like fun. You imagine like giving a dog a bath that doesn't want to be wet or
Like a
doesn't.
howler monkey?
Yeah, just nuts all over the place.
Yeah.
But we got off track.
Yeah, but
Tom Brady.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Tom Brady, give me your evaluation of Tom Brady
Okay.
right now.
I'll start with that Tom Brady is the GOAT. He is the
GOAT.
quarterback
Yes,
ever.
yes.
But he's not as good right now as what people think. All right, so these are their lengths of their touchdown drives. Ready? 1 play, 3 yards. The next touchdown
Good field position.
was a long one, 5 plays, 40 yards. And then the last one was 4 plays, 10 yards.
Yeah, but that's because the defense set him up.
defense,
It's
though.
team.
It's the
It's
defense.
all about the team. So if you think back
defense.
to, I mean, just think of any Super Bowl or any big victory. There's always give and take in the defense. Think about Buffalo. Okay, everyone's high on Josh Allen. They didn't have that pick six.
I'm not high on Josh Allen.
Well, a lot of people are high on Josh Allen. Like you're in
said
Colorado. Like you're in Colorado
Or in Buffalo.
or in Buffalo.
You're like he's getting baptized.
I mean, they're going to give him like $500 million or something. But the
That would
crazy
be-
thing
that
is
would be
if
aw- that'd
they,
be
if the
crazy
crazy thing
if
is
they do
if
that.
they upset, like imagine this, if they upset Kansas City and beat Kansas City, say like Chad Henne, a guy that I played college
That's
football
not
against.
you can't consider it an upset though if Chad Henne is the
So
quarterback.
okay, if Buffalo beats
if they beat
Kansas
Mahomes.
City, if
With
Buffalo
Mahomes play.
beats Mahomes,
Yeah.
right, and it's a Buffalo Tampa Super Bowl, like
Yeah.
come on, and Tampa's at home, like come on, like that would be like you'd be like oh, because Tom's winning that at home, especially in Tampa. There's no way. Oh, my sore. I worked out hard yesterday.
You go to TB12, the TB12 method.
No,
You wouldn't have
can't.
felt like that.
Well, I'd be a TB12. I'd be on rubber bands. Like,
Yeah, but Brady threw for 100. Brady was 18 of 33 for 199 yards.
Yeah, 199. That's what was Drew Brees. That was better than Drew Brees.
Yeah, but you can't get
Drew
any worse
Brees
than
threw
Drew
like
Brees.
4 picks.
Yes, I think he had more yardage on the picks than
He might
had
have,
in the
yeah.
actual thing because there was some big returns.
That's bad. I mean, the Saints too. Like, if you're a Saints fan, you feel like your window is like, like who's their quarterback next year? They got to figure that out. They got Taysom Hill, but
They got the eating W's.
oh come on, like give me a break. Like that's.
Well, the telling thing in this game though, Michael Thomas had no catches, no yards.
Well, Michael Thomas
was hurt.
has having an ankle repair as we speak right now,
Yeah.
or soon.
Yeah,
So
he
he's been
get out
playing
in
with a
that
high
game.
ankle the whole year.
Yeah.
But I felt like he was a problem for them. Like he turned into a little bit of an issue, you know.
That
Hey,
was
wait
like the
till I get my
beginning,
money
the middle.
right.
That was like the beginning, the middle of the
Can't
season.
tell me
but
nothing.
He came out and said that he played that game. He shouldn't have played, but he played the game because that was a chance that was the last game he was ever going to play with Drew Brees.
Yeah, yeah,
He was right.
yeah.
But do you really see the Buccaneers beating the Packers? Take the TB12
They
hat
just-
off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I any given Sunday, any team can
Yes,
beat
yes.
anybody.
But
right.
if they played the game out of 10 times, Packers are winning that nine times out of 10.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is playing.
He's playing unbelievable.
he's
the
he's
defense
playing
played
really
pretty good.
Yeah, defense stepped up.
I mean, because he didn't look the greatest, but I mean, that Rams defense is probably the best defense in the NFL,
They are
without a doubt.
They are very good. But
Yeah.
then you had, Aaron Donald beat up, dealing with a rib injury. I felt bad for Aaron Donald, too. I mean, that guy puts it out there every weekend, he's crying. I mean, it's emotional. When you play football, it doesn't matter what your contract is. You want to win Super Bowls. You want to have substance to your career. You don't want to look back and say, well, I got a lot of money. I mean,
More people in the NFL that have played in the NFL and not won a Super Bowl than won a Super Bowl. There's one team every year that does it.
Dan Marino. Think about Dan Marino. I bet you Dan Marino would turn in
He turned in like $50 million.
a couple years off the end of his life just to say, hey, I'm a Super Bowl champion.
So do you think Mahomes is going to play?
Yep.
Yeah. You think they'll
Yeah.
get out of this
It's like
protocol?
everyone's like, oh, the protocol. The protocol is
The 5-step protocol.
that's.
He passed step 1.
I've been in the protocol. You memorize the dinosaur.
Well, that's during the game, though.
No,
is it after?
that's after too. It's
Oh.
all the same crap.
Oh.
Trash
Was that the
can, dumpster, something. I don't know. I forgot. I don't know. But you got to go. You do your.
But I thought you have to have an
No,
independent
here's the thing too. No,
neurologist.
I did. I did all that. It was fine. And
So do they show you like like pictures, like the ink blots and stuff like that?
They show
Like,
you
what does it say?
you take your impact test. So your impact test is like photos. Like it'll be like a shape one way, and then you do a few questions, and then it shows you the same shape with arrows, and like if it's pointing, was it the same or not?
Did you fail one?
No, I didn't.
Oh, really?
No.
How many times were you in the concussion protocol?
Well, this is the thing. When I took just once, when I took the test, they said, did you throw the first test? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, because your base test was the worst thing we've ever seen. I'm like, it's better than the first test, huh? It's like I'm back.
So if that was the base test, how'd you get to the next test? If you failed
That's the thing. I'm saying it's so subjective. Like your base test, honestly, on the base test, I was like rushing through it and I didn't read the directions. Like I didn't read the directions, and you were supposed to like it. It was like the name. So you're supposed to react to the color or the name. So if like blue popped up, but it was yellow, like you were supposed to click like no. So it was supposed to be the name with the color.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like, oh, that's blue. Oh, that's red. Like I was off on the whole thing. So I must have just screwed that whole thing up.
Must have been concussed.
Must have just been like what I was like at school. I'm like, whatever.
So what, they put you like in front of a computer?
Directions. Yeah, you're in front of the computer.
Is it like a computer with like the sides like there? And
No,
everything?
you're in a room by yourself. They like, yeah, do your test. You close the door. You're like, okay, see you later. Here's a pen and paper. Like, okay.
You're just sitting there.
What's that? It's just like,
all right, I'm done.
look at my phone. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
your
it's
phone too.
You could do whatever
Somebody
you
can
want.
send you like the
Yeah,
you can like
they don't.
FaceTime
There's
somebody.
not. It's
and say
not
what
like
it's supposed to
questions.
be?
It's not like a test. It's super easy. It's super easy. I'd love to take one now just to see where my base is.
What'd you do if they're like, okay, you failed your baseline, Rob?
You failed
Like,
your
what would you
base.
say, like-
Your base is bad,
Shit.
but you want your base to be bad.
Why?
So your next test,
it's
you're always
easier?
going to be better.
Oh,
So you're not concussed. You're fine. Just, oh, you passed. You're better than your base. Yeah, I know. Thank you. That's it.
so you're in there once.
Just, yeah, Seattle. That was it. That was good.
I think it's probably time to take a break, right?
Game off.
We'll
Yep,
come
let's
back
take a
to-
break.
we'll
Let's
come back
try
to
one
our
of these
picks.
natty ices
I'm not
a
done.
week
I'm not
later.
drinking that. I didn't want to taste that. I didn't want to drink that when it was new.
Oh,
it
it's
has
still got
carbonation.
fuzz in it. Dude, that day, you ever like smell something and you like taste it?
Yeah.
I can smell how bad that tastes. We're gonna jump into picks here.
Only two.
Only 2 picks, so this should be quick. And then I gotta ask you about something.
Okay.
All right, so where are we going with here?
All right. First game is Sunday, 3:00. Buccaneers, Packers.
I'm going with TB12. I'm going with TB12. I'm going with TB12. He's gonna win. He's going to NFC Super Bowl.
The NFC Super Bowl.
Just gonna
All
say
right, the baseline test is
he's
failed.
already going to the NFC Championship. He's going to the NFC Championship. He's gonna win the NFC and he's gonna go to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if he wins the Super Bowl, depending on if it's Kansas City. Because if it's Kansas City, Kansas City's winning.
I can't believe you're picking the Buccaneers, but I will.
They
take...
already beat him. Hey,
Okay.
stop this, you idiot!
But you're the one that said like you can't beat the
It's
same team
hard to
multiple
beat.
times.
It's
blah, blah, blah,
harder.
blah.
I
There's
think.
there is no way. All those guys from Tampa too are going to hit Lambeau Field.
Yeah, they're gonna be
And
shocked.
it's going to be it's
I
going to
mean,
be cold.
do I really think Tampa's gonna win? No, but I'm going with Tampa just because I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go with the Packers. And just so we are clear, it is going to snow there on Sunday.
Okay, Tampa's done. It's over with. Tampa's done.
You picked them.
I did pick them. Yes. Brody, stop eating that.
Actually, I wonder how bad the snow is going to be. I just look at like the icons that just say it's snowing. Let's see. Come on, 12 inches of snow. About an inch of snow expected.
That's not bad.
Game time will be 18 degrees.
I mean, Tom played in some snow.
Yeah,
so.
but the rest of those guys haven't.
Yeah, and you get used
You
to
only
it
got
too.
Tom and Gronk. That's the only ones. The next game is 6:40 on Sunday. Is the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is a tough game to pick because we're picking on Wednesday, and we still don't know about Patrick Mahomes and all
I'm
that.
going with Kansas City. I just don't think Buffalo can get it done.
So even if it was Henny at the quarterback, you think?
Yeah,
that,
I still think.
Oh, so you're like no
Buffalo
matter
wins.
what, no matter who starts a quarterback for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
because
because if you're like Andy Reid and you have to go with Chad Henne, give the ball to your playmakers and let them, Tyreek Hill, come on.
And Kelsey,
so
Watkins.
fast. I mean, as long as Chad Henne doesn't, literally just hand the ball off to the other
that
team.
one pick he threw
that was bad.
I mean, that wasn't even close.
No.
That was
So
a punt.
I would think that Andy Reid is smart enough to come up. On that 4th and 1, I was like, I can't believe they're going for it here.
I know.
In shotgun with that quarterback, and he threw a good ball on the run, and
that's not like an easy ball to throw.
No, it's not. You're
everybody thinks well, no, it's just a short little pass.
You're running
that's
to
not
your
an easy
right.
ball.
There was a dash, so you're running to your right, and you're throwing a ball, and it was a good throw, and Tyreek
But it has to be perfect because
there's
no reaction time.
No.
No, everybody thinks that's an easy throw to make. But if you're 10 yards down the field, at least
he's running
slow.
And it's Tyreek Hill. He's running that way really fast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a hard throw to make, especially for a guy, too, that probably didn't make the throw in practice. I mean, How many reps do you think he got with Tyreek Hill?
So I think Kansas City, it's going to be a Kansas City
you picked the Buccaneers.
back-to-back win. I think they're going to win back-to-back.
Yeah.
They're going to be the first team, second team to do it since the Patriots.
It'll be the first team since the Patriots.
I think overall there's only been 2, though. Isn't it just the Pats to go back? Oh, no. Did Dallas go back-to-back?
I think Dallas went back.
Yeah, so it would be the third, I think. Ow.
It'll be the third. It'll be the first one since the Patriots did.
Dude, don't bite me that hard.
I'm definitely going to take the Chiefs. I don't believe the Chiefs are going to win this. I'll have to see that.
How the Packers look.
Yes, because
they
the
look
Packers,
awesome.
The one team that could beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I think, is the Packers.
Yeah.
I think that's the one team that could, because Aaron Rodgers could just light it up with Devontae Adams and all that,
Yep.
and then they could outscore the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And their defense is pretty decent. I mean, they're not that bad. I actually think the Chiefs are going to house Buffalo. I just think it's
I
really
don't
bad.
think Buffalo's. I mean, you look at Josh Allen. I think he makes mistakes in high pressure games, and this game is very high pressure because everything's on the line. So, I mean, he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to continue to grow and be better and better. But just this year in particular, I think it's Kansas City all the way. I mean, offensively, they just look so freaking good.
Yeah.
Brody, you're
Packers
biting me
look good,
really
but
hard
I'm
right now.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. And so I have Chiefs Packers in the Super Bowl. You have Chiefs Buccaneers in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Tom Brady. Just imagine. Okay, so here's the thing too. If this thing goes crazy and it's a Buffalo Tampa Super Bowl, I mean, nobody's even be like, "Oh, who's gonna watch that?" I mean, everybody in Buffalo would, but
a Packers Chiefs Super Bowl would be the best one. That would
yes,
be the most.
That would be the most because you want to see Aaron Rodgers and Brody's eating.
You think Rodgers leaves the Packers if they win?
No, I don't. I think the Packers drafted the first round quarterback.
Yeah, Love.
And
for 3 years from now.
Yeah, 3 years from now though.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. Speaking of quarterbacks on the move, what do you think about Deshaun Watson?
Oh, that's what I wanted to get into about just Deshaun Watson and the Texans and this Jack Easterby stuff. I mean, isn't it crazy? So imagine this. You are Billy O. It's like, okay, you hire me to come here and work with you. Granted, you're the owner. Some way, somehow, you're removed from ownership. The guy you hire takes over your role and has a higher role than you had. And then everyone's going crazy that Billy O, the head coach GM, traded away their best wide receiver, their best option at wide receiver.
He traded away their whole future.
Yes. So imagine you are the new guy in the GM position. You walk in your office, get a stack of stuff, boom, on your desk. First thing you look at, our franchise quarterback wants to leave because of me. Our franchise quarterback is upset and wants to be traded. Imagine the repercussions in the team, in the locker room, with the fan base. If you're the new GM and you trade away Deshaun Watson, he's not being traded. I don't care what anybody says.
He's 100% being traded.
You do not trade him. You can't trade him.
You have to.
If you trade him,
you don't have any draft picks to begin with to put anybody around him.
So you're gonna, but it's okay.
I don't think they don't have a first round pick for like 3 years.
He still had the best year of his career.
Yes. No, I think he's good. He ain't gonna want to play.
If he doesn't want to play, like the contracts are in place for a reason. Like the players don't have the leverage. It's not the NBA. Like when you look at Kyrie Irving, like taking 2 weeks off and saying I needed a break when he just had like how many months off. The NFL is different because the owners have the leverage. If he signed the contract, it's $150 million. Like, figure it out. Like, you want to start a winning culture. Well, asking to be traded when your head coach is just fired, you have a new GM coming in. Like, I don't understand if he's upset that he's not involved in the decision making. Which, I mean, look. Most players aren't involved in any decision making.
The reports are that he's upset not because he's not really involved in the decision making. It's because the owner told him he would be involved in the decision making. Supposedly he didn't ask to be involved. They just told him, "Hey, we know you don't like Easterby. We know that you had a." I don't think he really had much of a riff with Billy O'Brien as a coach. He obviously had it as the GM.
Yeah.
But I suppose the owner went to him and said, "You'll have some input on this." And then he was off on vacation. And then on Twitter, he saw that they hired Caserio. And I think that's what set him off at that point.
I could see how that would be upsetting, especially if you're lied to. But guess what? Every player in the NFL is lied to at some point. They tell you whatever they want so you play and that you go out there and you perform. And if you don't perform, they just cut you. So if Deshaun had a terrible year or didn't have that contract, they just cut him. They wouldn't care. So, he does have leverage because he is the face of the franchise. But it's hard to trade away the face of the franchise and not have repercussions based like on the team where guys are like, what? Like, you want to win and you're trading this guy away, like the best quarterback?
There's nobody left on that team though.
What are you gonna? Okay, so trade him away. Where's he? Like, what are you gonna have at quarterback? You're gonna have nothing. You're gonna have
first round picks,
and then pick a kid that is a question mark that can't play.
Or you have an upset franchise quarterback. And you have no draft picks.
Well, you try and look. There's always
they have no way to rebuild it though.
There's always going to be problems in a relationship, no matter what. Like I know.
Billy
There's
O'Brien
always problems in a relationship.
He traded like 3 first-round picks for Tunsil.
He's good. I mean, look, he had protection this year. He wasn't on his back.
He's a left tackle. Like, you could have just used one of those 3 draft picks and drafted a left tackle.
I'm just thinking that if you are the GM walking into that position, Nick Caserio. Granted, $30 million. I mean, he'd probably walk into any situation and laugh all the way to the bank. But you're coming into a spot where, like, your quarterback basically wants to leave because you were hired.
I know, but if you're a Caserio, are you second guessing now? Like, what the hell did I get myself into?
No, because he's got 30 million ways to look at it.
But he probably would have had offers from other places to be the GM.
He might have.
He wanted to go to the Texans because, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? You have Deshaun Watson, Yeah,
I don't think he's regretting that decision to go. He's obviously in a place here with the Patriots where he doesn't have full control over the roster or decisions. So he's going somewhere where he has control to a certain extent, where he's making the decisions on the roster.
Yeah, but
shaping the roster.
Here's my thing though: is if I'm Caserio, I'm trading Deshaun Watson. I know, and it's
crazy
because he's. But the problem is, so you're Caserio, right? And if you keep Watson. And you can't put a winning team together in 2 years, Watson will be going to the ownership saying, "Hey, we need a new GM. He can't build a roster, can't do that," and he's gone.
True.
If he trades Deshaun Watson now, right, he can use the leverage of, listen, this wasn't my doing. They screwed it up before I got in here, so I had to trade him. And now I need 4 or 5 years because I'm going to take all these draft picks.
Well, he's got 6 guaranteed of $30 million. So if they fire him in 3 years, he's still getting his money.
Before it, though.
Yeah, they're going to get their money. So
but he doesn't want to be fired, though. He wants to be able to rebuild it. So, like, you have to rebuild that whole organization needs to be rebuilt, the entire thing.
Yeah, starting with from the top down. Maybe it is the guys that are making the decisions. The owners are not good football people. Like, owners don't know anything about personnel, about anything.
They were like football fans.
So how could you have somebody at the top level making decisions on how to run a football team? They don't know how to run businesses. That's different.
That's why the Patriots do so well, because I think Kraft kind of
freedom.
stays out of it and lets
to
them
a certain extent.
Yeah, but you're the owner.
Jimmy G's in San Fran, but I don't think that was a Bill decision. But there's always going to be some decisions made that are above the ranks of whoever's making the personnel decisions. Imagine being
away Hopkins.
Imagine you're doing the auction for the Ford GT, right? And somebody walks in, they're like, no, I don't care. You're not buying that.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. You're getting the next one. And you're like, no, the next one's like got double the miles. And like, no, I don't care. You're getting the next one. It's just like it is when they're in the draft rooms and the owner walks in and you got, Jerry Jones. Hey, you know what we're going to do here? We're going to trade this pick away. And if you don't do that, I'm going to fire your ass because I'm the GM. Yeah.
Well, that's the difference, and that's why they don't win. That's why they have all this talent. They can never put anything together. They can't get a good coach, can't get a good GM.
I don't know how many bites of the apple I have, but I need to get back to those glory hole days, so to speak.
Do you think they signed Dak Prescott?
No. They didn't sign him
again?
Yeah, or something, because he didn't sign him before, and he broke his leg.
Yeah, but does he just take the year off if he gets franchise tag?
I would try and get a deal done. I'd still work for a deal.
I know, but if you're Dak Prescott, do you play to the tag?
Yeah, because then you would have made like $60 million in 2 years.
Yeah, but he wants that long-term deal and all that. I guess you play and then
then
you're a free agent, right?
Yeah, and you're a free agent.
They can't tag you. They can't do anything.
Nothing.
After back-to-back tags.
Back-to-back tags. You made $60 million. This year was basically an off year. Your ankle's fine. You'll be back. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Go out there, ball out, get $600 million.
So back to the Deshaun Watson thing. If you were Bill Belichick, there's a proposed trade out there.
Go get him.
That it's 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, Stephon Gilmore, and a third-round pick.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Go get him.
That's a lot. No, I don't think you can go get him for that.
Yeah,
because then
100%.
you don't have
100%.
a receiving core. You have so many.
But you have the money to go sign free agent wide receivers. Though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with the Patriots.
They have so much. They have so much money, and they have so many draft picks. Don't they have a lot of draft picks this year?
Yeah, because they got a bunch of thirds, a bunch of fourths.
So they need to go and they need to build. They need to find another Tom Brady in the 7th round. They need to find a young guy that can play at a high level, or go get Jimmy G. Let Deshaun go, because first of all, I don't think he loved playing.
You just said to trade for him. That was the first thing you said.
I changed my mind. That's it. I'm done.
You failed the concussion protocol.
I'm thinking about the amount that they're asking. It's just not gonna. It's not happening. I thought about it. You can't trade away all your picks that you're trying to build. And what's the one thing that everyone talks about?
Trade his first-round picks, though.
No, but I'm saying you can't trade your first, second, third, like
it's
two
for 2
first,
years.
two
it's
second.
For 2 years. Well,
they can't build a team if they trade away that many people.
It's 2 firsts, a second, and a third. But it's spread out over 3 years, though. So it's like you give up this year's
you give up your first.
This year, you still have your second. You give up your first next year and your third, and then the following year you give up your second.
I don't know if I like that. Because
I think that's good.
Everyone talks about how they haven't built their team through the draft. You have to have young guys on the team because you're going to run out of money at some point.
The problem is that
your cap is going to be way too backwards if you have to go spend money. Because guys, they have $100 million in cap space, but guess what? That's like 3 players nowadays. 4.
It just depends how you structure.
Yeah, depends.
It really depends on what their cap is over the next 5 years. The projected cap. Because the 1 year don't really matter.
Exactly.
But the thing with Watson though is that you can't go draft a Deshaun Watson.
You never know though.
I understand that, but
look at what
you're more than
Russell
likely,
Wilson, where he was drafted. Look at Dak Prescott, where he was at.
But
you can
more
find
than likely to draft Jamarcus Russell than you are Russell Wilson.
No, Jamarcus Russell. I could tell. You could just tell by his demeanor that the guy was going to take the money and run.
There's so many first-round picks though, like early quarterbacks and all that, just don't pan out to anything. There's so many. There's more that don't pan out than actually pan out to be something. And what Deshaun Watson is.
At the end of the day, it's a crapshoot. There's guys that are drafted late that are really good.
So, this is the thing, right?
There's guys that are on the street. There's electricians down the street that probably would have been Hall of Famers, but they just didn't get a shot.
Get there, right? But if you get Deshaun Watson, you sign like an Allen Robinson. Aren't you the Super Bowl favorite coming from the AFC? Then you could easily run with the Chiefs if you're the Patriots. If you get
Deshaun. I think that they could
Watson,
make.
Like Allen Robinson.
They could probably. They need one more piece though.
Like Hunter Henry.
Because then they're losing your center if you don't have David Andrews.
No, you can.
If you don't have Tooney.
You can still. Well, you can't sign Tooney.
Yeah, Tooney's gone. Yeah. So you'll have two guys.
You have a bunch of linemen though. You have a bunch of young linemen. I mean, you got a 5th round pick that's one of the best linemen in the NFL now. He's going to be playing for the next 4 years on nothing.
Yeah.
And you can sign Andrews to a 5 year.
Now, but
40.
He's a free though, so you're going to see. Other teams, if another team offers him something crazy, he's gone. He's gone.
But it would have to be. I think it would have to be substantially more for him to go.
That's what I'm saying. Like if another team offers him,
but how much more is it going to be? What's the team going to offer him? 5 year 50?
Maybe.
But he would take 5 year 40.
I wouldn't take 10 less. He's already got two Super Bowl
You've
rings.
done it how many times?
Yeah, but at that point I was never free. I was never free agent.
Yes, because you kept taking. Like,
I would re-up a year before.
Yeah.
And that, at the time,
I'm surprised they didn't do that with him.
I'm
shocked they didn't do it with him.
They did.
Yeah,
once.
I thought they would do it again though.
He signed he had a 4-year, like a
I thought
3-year with a year left on his contract. He signed a 4-year deal for
I figured with some of the
$6 million
that cap space they got this year from the opt-outs, I figured that they would, would have just.
You would think, but they didn't do.
Hopefully they do, but I think if you can get away with giving up 3 premium picks, maybe like 2 firsts and a second for Deshaun Watson, I think you do it. You think Caserio gives a Belichick the hometown discount too?
No,
I think he does.
I don't think he does.
I think if it came down to it and it was close with somebody else, he would take a little bit less from the Patriots than going
than somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, he was here a long time, but at the end of the day, he's in a new position.
His whole speech though was talking about thanking the Crafts, thanking Belichick.
You have to do that. He was here for 20 years.
He didn't have to go that far in depth in it though. Well, it could have just been like a paragraph.
It is the Texans.
Speech.
In a couple years, he might be looking for another job. So he's coming right back.
Job. No matter what, they're screwed. Even if they keep Watson, they're screwed because they have no picks. They have no assets on that team.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I do think J.J. Watt's going to be a Patriot this year though.
He might. I
think he's
player.
like a perfect fit. Like he's
only played 2 full seasons in 5 years though.
Yeah, but he can come here and not be a full-time player.
Yeah, but what do you pay a non-full-time player? He makes $20 million a year.
Yeah, but he'll be released.
I know, but what's he gonna make if
$5 million, $6 million, $7
million? He ain't playing for $5 million.
I bet he would.
He's playing for 10 plus.
No, I bet even if he did a 1-year, $10 million deal, it's not that bad.
Depends on what you're getting. If you're getting a early down, if you're not getting I don't know how many. He still has some rush to him, but I'm saying he's an old player. He's old with broke his knee, like literally.
He broke every part of him.
He screwed everything up.
Shoulder. I think I think that's almost a lock that he'll be on the Patriots, but it'll be interesting to see what they do at quarterback because there is a lot of different things they can do.
There's a lot of options. They have a lot of options. It's going to be a really interesting offseason. I'm looking forward to seeing how the team builds a new team and how they go about that.
They have a lot of young pieces, though.
They have more questions than pieces.
No.
Who's their pass rushers?
It's number 50.
He's not a pass rusher. He had
Uche.
He broke his foot. He never finished the season as a rookie. It means he's a rookie again.
No.
And he's 5.
He played like eight or 9 games.
Uche, unless he's like Von Miller, he's 6 foot, 235.
Yeah.
So he's got to get bigger. He's got to develop. Like it's going to take a little bit of time.
Guys are just hitting puberty now.
No, they got to. Winovich has got to gain 10 pounds. He's got to be 260.
You don't think he'll gain the 10 pounds? I think he's staying around here in the offseason.
He's got to gain it from the waist down.
It looked like on his accounts he's like staying around here for the offseason.
I mean, it's probably, where can you go right now? You can't. Where are you gonna go?
Most people traveling.
If you have a place here though, it's like you're just gonna stay where you're at unless you're gonna go stay with your parents. When I was younger, I didn't have a place to go. I just stayed wherever I was playing at.
Yeah.
You go on vacation for a week and then you come back.
Yeah, but you didn't have like $10 million in the bank though.
True.
I mean, that's a little bit of the difference. Or you didn't have $1 million in the bank and you're gonna spend $3 million.
I didn't have $1 million either at that point.
I know, but that's the thing. So was that the thing you were gonna ask me? Was the Deshaun Watson thing?
Yeah. And Bitcoin.
Oh, Jesus.
Crypto. Do you understand what crypto is?
Yeah.
No, I just don't get it because let's see where it's at right now. Let's see where it's at.
Well, cryptocurrency basically is just computer code.
It's fake. It's like monopoly money, isn't it?
It's computer code.
Created money.
Yeah.
It's created. But here's the thing. Did you see that story about the guy that has like $275 million?
Like 2 attempts to remember his password.
And if you don't have your password, which would be bad for me.
There's no forget password button.
You cannot get your money back.
Yeah. It's
gone. And then somebody else gets it.
It's Bitcoin would get it.
Bitcoin. That just seems like robbery.
Just think of that. Their valuation goes way up because doesn't he? He's got what was it like $230 million worth of bitcoins or something like that.
It's crazy.
It's something huge. But yeah, there's no forgot my password. None of that stuff. They say it's safe. I don't know if you watched the show Queen of the South. It's about a drug dealer in the
we've
South.
watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good.
She puts all her money into cryptocurrency.
Okay, so my buddy just texted me this. Jimmy, what's up, buddy? Phillip Rivers retires at 4th place among living, current, and former NFL players and children.
Yeah.
Number 1, Antonio Cromartie has 14 children. 14 children.
Yeah, he's bankrupt.
You're done.
Yeah.
Is he bankrupt?
Yeah, I think he's got court cases against him.
Number 2, Travis Henry, 11.
Yeah, he's bankrupt.
Number 3,
He was in jail.
Willis McGahee has 10.
Yeah.
Number 4, Phillip Rivers has 9 children.
Yeah. He needs to not only hang up the cleats, he needs to hang up the testicles there too, and just end that.
5 is Kurt Warner. He has 7.
Really?
Yeah. 5, Adrian Peterson has 7, and Ocho Cinco has 7. That's Kurt Warner. That's
I didn't see the Kurt Warner one. I didn't think that was there. But I knew Phillip Rivers. Supposedly Phillip Rivers wants to have more kids. Is one thing I read last year.
I mean, now he's retired. He can have more. I mean, I would say having kids is awesome. I want to have one more. My wife's like, nope, we're not having any more. Because I got this puppy here that's biting my hand.
Yeah. I was done at 3 too, and we have 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I couldn't imagine having 14 kids, 10 kids, 11 kids. Like, you're done. I can't
Cam
afford
Newton
that.
has a lot of kids, doesn't he?
I think he has a bunch, yeah.
I thought he had 6 or 7 kids.
Okay, so Travis Henry said in an interview, 170,000. What is this? He couldn't afford. It's 170,000 a month.
Yeah, he couldn't afford the child support.
Jeez, oh my goodness.
Oh, Cam's got 4. Why did I think he had a bunch? He got 4 kids.
Oh,
but Phillip Rivers, 9. So he needs to hang up everything.
That's crazy, dude.
But he did get paid $25 million last year. He made one Ninko career last year.
Yeah, one career, and I'm fine.
Did you see the thing of
which is crazy because if you can make $50 million, you should be set for life.
Did you see the thing of
guys
Belichick's girlfriend going after somebody on Instagram?
No.
There was somebody that put a thing out. As I reflect on the past year, I want to look at. Hold on. You have all the answers, evidently. Tom didn't score last night, not even once. Defense won that game. Were you even watching? I'm too old to know what OTOH is. I'm happy for Tom's career. Why can't you be?
Who cares? Who cares? I mean, whatever. It's just I think the whole Tom, Bill, all that stuff's stupid anyway too. I mean, just the guys were great together. You had a long run.
They need each other.
They made a lot of money.
They need each other.
They had a lot of success.
Yeah.
Bill's on Subway commercials. I mean, Tom had a bed commercial. He's made a.
He's in the movie
Aston
Ted
Martin.
2.
Yeah, he's got. What is it? IBC root beer, the watches.
IWC.
No, IWC watches. He's got all that.
Not root beer.
I say was it IBC?
Yeah, IBC root beer.
Yeah, that's IBC.
IWC.
It's whatever. it's fine. I love root beer though.
Well, the crazy thing is when people talk about with Brady, saying that, look, the Patriots let him go, and look at him now. He's in the NFC Championship game. We could have been in the AFC Championship game. No, you wouldn't. You
wouldn't have been close.
There's 4 reasons.
You wouldn't have been even close.
There's 4 reasons though. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. Any one of those 4 is twice the receiver that was on the Patriots.
There's guys.
Alabama's
receiving core, I feel would be a better core.
And it's not knocking anybody on the Patriots. It's just those guys are superstars.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans could be some of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yes.
Antonio Brown was one of the best receivers in the NFL.
I think Tom just made a smart business decision. He understood
he wanted to win.
He still had another couple of years left in him. The Patriots didn't have this cap space. They weren't going to pay him anything. They didn't offer him anything. So he evaluated all his options, looked at the best place with the best roster, went to the best roster, and now he's in the NFC Championship. So you can't hate on him for, going there. I mean, has he struggled a little bit? Certain times, everybody struggles. I mean, did he have a crazy game? No, but he still had, 40 touchdowns this year? I mean, 11 picks, whatever. He still had a great year. You would have loved to had that production at your quarterback position this year.
He would have had better production than Cam Newton would have, but he wouldn't have won. You're 100% right. It was a business issue for Brady.
Business.
If if the
And he's
Patriots,
in warm Tampa. Like, who doesn't love warm Tampa?
if the Patriots had Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, and somebody else, he wouldn't have left.
Exactly.
He would have stayed and
But
went on
they
to
might
win the Super
not.
Bowl.
They might have just offered him no money though. They didn't. I don't think they offered him. They offered. What did Tampa give him? 2 years, 50?
Yeah, I think the
25
Patriots
a year?
offered him like $15 million a year.
That's $10 million more.
But I don't think it was really 100% the money though. Like if they had the team around him, I think he was just looking
He probably just
to win a Super Bowl.
yes.
So he went to a place was
Where-
the best chance to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean, if you look at that team, it was a quarterback short of becoming. Everybody's like, look at Tampa. They're so much better than they were last year. They had Jameis Winston as their quarterback last year.
He had 30 touchdowns
Yeah.
and 30 picks.
I mean, if you put Phillip Rivers on that team, they would have made the playoffs.
they'd have been better.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
100%.
but Brady went to the best possible case scenario to win it that was available
Yep.
to win a Super Bowl. That's what he did.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but the stupid crap of, you know, well, he should have just stayed, you know, that if he stayed on the Patriots, we would, you know, the Patriots would have been better. Yeah, they would have been better, but it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't.
no,
have,
it would not. It would not.
maybe
It would
maybe
not.
they could have got to a playoff game, maybe,
Yeah.
but they would have been housed by whoever they played.
Yeah.
If they had to play the Chiefs or something like that, they'd be killed, even with Brady,
Yeah.
even with like Antonio Brown and Brady and Gronkowski.
I think so. Like going back to what the Patriots need, they just need to have a good reboot this offseason. They got to have a good draft. They got to have some good picks that they find in free agency. They got to get their nucleus back together of that like 2009 draft class where they had a lot of young guys came in
Yeah.
and they became the
They're the
staples.
next-
They were the next guys.
Yeah.
They just need to have that. And
They can though.
you know, I do think that Winovich and Uche, those guys can develop. It just takes a little time. So they have to develop. They have to understand, you know, this is how we play defense.
Yeah.
This is how you run things here because everything works together. Your rush and your coverage. Like last year, the Patriots were, you know, supposedly the best defense, but they really didn't play anybody. But I think they'll be fine.
yeah.
I just want to watch the offseason. I want to see the moves they make. If they bring in Jimmy G, I'll be excited.
That's your pick.
Yeah, that's my pick. So we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a good offseason. I am optimistic that they will make the correct corrections moving forward to where they're more competitive.
This was a bigger reboot because of the opt-outs, though, because normally, you know, when you go through the cycles of having to change all the personnel, the Patriots have always been good at having those veteran players with the rookie, you know, with the young guys in there, so they didn't have as much on their plate. But like, you had too much on Winovich's plate. You had too much on Uche's plate.
Yes.
There was too much on their plate, like where you normally would have had somebody else. Like, you know, you would have
Yes.
had Hightower there, right? So you have Hightower, and then
That's
everybody
right.
slots down a level.
Yes.
Same thing with the receiving core. The receiving core is not that bad. It's just everybody's playing a level too high. Jacoby Myers is not a number one receiver. Damiere Byrd is not a number two receiver. Damiere Byrd's a number three. Jacoby Myers could be a number two. They're missing that
Yep.
number one, and that's kind of their issue. And a tight end. I mean, people need to realize that one of their biggest holes on that team is tight end.
Everybody had to be bumped up one notch, which
On the tight end, though, you had everybody bumped up 4 notches. That's what I mean. You know, so that was the killer for them is that, and hopefully the draft and all this money in free agency fixes that, where you can bring in the right pieces and then also still draft the right pieces
Yep.
along. Do you think they take a quarterback with the first pick?
I think it depends on what's available. I
Yeah.
think it depends on what's because
Like if Trey
Bill's.
Lance
I think
is there?
Bill. I was watching a thing just on the draft in general with the Patriots, and they always take what's they feel is the best available
Yeah.
pick. So if like they didn't feel there's a quarterback worth that, and
Yeah,
it was like a
15th pick.
tackle, or if it was
Yeah.
something that they felt was a better value, they're going to go with best value just based on their evaluations. But I'm assuming if they don't trade for one, they'll go and they'll get a quarterback at 15.
There's a lot of things now that are showing like Trey Lance or Mac Jones will be available at 15. I think if Trey Lance is there, you 100% take Trey
You go
Lance.
get him. Yes.
Because he could be like the next Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, you know, that mold of know, Josh Allen, that mold of quarterback. I think you take the shot at it at 15 and go that route. I mean, if they're off the board, you know, they're not going to take the quarterback out of a need there. They're going to take it only if the right quarterback's there.
Yep.
Like if Lance and obviously all the other guys are going to be off the board, but if like Lance and Jones are off the board at 15, there's no way they just take like the next best quarterback. They're not going to take like Trask there or anything like that. I think they're going to take a wide receiver, a tight end, a tackle, something like that, and then figure it out at that point. I guess it also depends if Jimmy G is available. I could see them trading for Jimmy G or picking up Jimmy G, but
I think they'll get him. I think I'm looking forward to this matchup, this AFC NFC matchup. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think it's going to be some good football. I'm enjoying the fact that I get to root for Tom Brady. I like that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think next show for 19, we're going to have the Super Bowl preview. So I think that we should also go through our picks. We can probably go through. We can do the picks. We'll do a tally of it, and whoever wins gets something cool, like maybe Ford GT 2018 Ford GT. It'd be a great prize for a winner,
or a Buick Skylark.
I mean, it's not worth that Ford GT, but I think that's a wrap on 18.
Yeah,
we are. Gonna put this one to bed. We're gonna come back next week and talk a little bit about the games and the matchup there for the Super Bowl. Liv, what is it? What Super Bowl is it? Is it LV?
No.
LV?
You're used to all that stuff because you see it all the time.
I know.
You should know. You know all the.
I think it's like L. It's like
I
know because it's like
you've been in a bunch of them.
L and then the Super Bowl and then V. I think it's.
I don't know which one it is.
Stop eating the wall, Brody.
But, we'll see you guys next week. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much anywhere on the internet. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.